Hi everybody, we're going to look at how to do some stuff with binomial random variables. I apologize for not having been in the class, but I have been ill, and I hope to be able to be there tomorrow. So we're looking at a couple of these are some questions. I'll post this later for you to see. Which of the following is not a property of binomial experiment? All trials are identical. Okay, each trial has two possible outcomes. The probability of success may change from trial to trial. And the purpose of the experiment is to determine the number of successes that occurs during n trials. Now, according to our Ben's thing, we have to talk about binary independent numbers fixed and same probabilities. So there we go. C has to be the same probability every time. Okay. In the expression 8 taken 3 at a time times 0.2 to the third times 0.8 to the fifth, which value represents the number of trials? Okay, so that would be n. That would be this one. So that would be D. All right, moving right along. In the expression 7 taken 2 times 0.4 times second and times 0.6 to the fifth, which one represents the probability of failure? So two successes, so we see the 2 here and the 2 there. That means that 0.4, that's p. So 0.6 must be 1 minus p. Alright, a few more just to kind of look through here. It says in the expression 10 taken 3, 0.5 cubed, 0.5 to the seventh, which value represents the number of successes? Now again, that would be the value right here that says 3. So our answer would be A on this one. Which expression describes the probability of K3s being rolled on 20 successive rolls of a 6-sided die? Okay, so a 3, we need to identify the correct probability of rolling a 3, and that would be 1 out of 6. Okay, so we can kind of immediately eliminate this one. Option C is a no-go because 3 out of 6 is not the probability. Now, B as well is set up the other way. That's the excessive probability of not throwing a 3, K times. So it's got to be between A and D. Okay, so of K3s being rolled on 20 successive rolls of the die. Now, the K is the number of 3s that are thrown. So we know that we're not asking for 3 3s, we're asking for K3s. So that gives us our option for A. Okay. The probability of a computer memory chip being effective is 0.02. Now, which of the following statements is true? In a shipment of 100 chips, 2 will be defective. Now, this is not a true statement, but it does bring us to something called the expected value. Now, the expected value of a binomial random variable is n times p. By that, I mean if you multiply the number of trials by the possibility of success, you will get that. The success here is being defective, which is 0.02. 100 times 0.02 is 2. Now, that's the expected value, the mean value. That doesn't mean that it always happens. If it was always exactly 2, then we would know that, and it wouldn't be binomial. It would be something different. This is a probability of that we know that 2 will be defective. That's what we would expect to. We could have none. We could have 1. You could have more than 2. Excuse me. So that would be a no-go. The expected number of defective chips in a shipment of 500 is 10. So 500 times 0.02 is 10. So this one looks like a real possibility. I'll put a little star there. In a shipment of 1,000 chips, it's certain that at least one will be defective. Now, it is possible that none will be defective. And the way you'd have to do that is you'd have to basically take 1,000 taken 0, which is just 1, times 0.02 to the 0 power, which is also 1, times 0.98 to the 1,000 power. Now 0.98 to the 1,000 power is a very small number. It's 1.6 times 10 to the negative 9. In other words, it's 0.00000000168 chance of that happening. Now, that's not 0, so it is possible. But there we have it. So the chances of none of them being defective is very close to 0. So the chances that at least one will be effective is very close to 1, but it's not exactly 1. Okay? So B is our best option on this one. Finally, over here, a young couple plans to have a family with 4 children, assuming that the behavior of the first child does not cause them to alter plans. What's the expected number of girls for their family? Okay? NP. So N is 4. Probability is 1/2. 4 times 1/2 is 2. Okay? So you would expect 2. It doesn't always work that way. I have 3 girls out of 3. So, there we have it. Okay, we're going to do a few more with just a little bit of how you'd set this up if you had to do this. Now, a hockey goaltender has a save percentage at .920, so he saves 92% of the shots. What would be the expected number of goals scored on this goaltender in a game where she faced 35 shots? So the probability of success here, you have to answer, is it 0.92 or 0.08? So if we talk about the number of goals, success is a goal, so that's P. Okay? So the expected value is simply NP. So 35 times 0.08, oops, 35 times 0.08 is 2.8. So with 35 goals, we would expect almost 3. With 35 shots on goal, we expect almost 3 to score. A manufacturer of halogen bulbs knows that 3% of their production of their 100-watt bulbs will be defective. What is the probability that exactly 5 bulbs in a carton of 144 will be defective? Now this one is going to require using our binomial probabilities, okay? So the probability of x equals 3, given that x is a binomial with 144 as the number and 0.03, okay? So that would be 144 taken 3 at a time times probability of success is 0.03. Oh no, I wrote the wrong number. It should be taken 5 at a time. My bad. So that should be 5. 0.03 to the 5th times 0.97 to the 144 minus 5, which would be 139th power. Now guys, this is not going to be a big number here, okay? It actually ends up being a little bit bigger than I would have expected, okay? So the value here ends up being about 0.169, okay? I'm going to show you a way that you can do this on the Inspire pretty easily, because we don't want to do that stuff by hand. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to Menu. I'm going to go to Statistics. I'm going to go to the thing that says Distributions. It's option 5. Okay. Now going down here, I've got, it says Binomial Options. I can see a PDF and a CDF. Now, the PDF and the CDF are two different things here. If I want to know one value, I use PDF. If I want to know multiple values, I use CDF. I'll explain the difference on that later. So I'll choose Binomial PDF. Okay. My number of trials goes here. In this case, it was 144. My probability of success goes next. The defective was 0.03. I wanted to count my x value as 5. So I go through and click all those values and I end up with 0.169446. Now that tells me what's the probability that I have exactly 5. Okay, let's look at another way to do this. If I go back into probability, I'm going to use the same basic stuff, but I'm going to use, I'm going to use CDF here. Which is this one. Now, this is a little bit different, but I can show you what I mean. So 144, probability is 0.03 still. Okay. Now, what if I was interested in, if I said, what if there was, I wanted to know the probability that it was no more than 5, or if I wanted to know the probability that was between 0 and 5. So I could put a lower bound of 0 and an upper bound of 5. Now, doing this is going to tell me the probability is going to be cumulative. It's going to tell me the probability of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that tells me that's 0.735. Now, 144 times 0.03, our expected value, is pretty close to 5, 4.32. So we would expect 4 and 5 to have the most common probabilities of any of the values. If it's the values that are close to the expected value, they're going to be most common of all of them. So 4 and 5 are included in this, so along with 0, 1, 2, and 3, those does kind of make sense that would be the case here. Okay, so if I wanted to know, for instance, like the probability of many values, or if I wanted to know less than or greater than, I can use that to help me out.